Hello everyone, welcome back to our forest homestead. In today's video we're going to talk about our chicken run build, and as you can see we have already put the frame of it together. I didn't have the camera out as I was building this because it was raining, and so I just built it as quickly as I could so I could get out of the rain. Here we're building the door, the frame for the door, and we're attaching all of the parts for that. Next, we are going to get out the fencing that goes over top. We thought it was going to be like a chain link, but it turns out to be more of a metal chicken wire. We still think it'll be pretty sturdy and keep the chickens safe, but we're going to go ahead and add another row of fencing to the outside just for added protection. I am adding the tie wraps or cable ties around the outside to secure the fencing in place. Now we chose the 26-foot chicken run from Amazon, and it was actually, turns out to be very big. It's kind of awesome. Our chickens love it. It seems like there's a lot of mud down the back end of there, and we ended up throwing a bunch of straw over top of that before we put the chickens in. That way they could be nice and dry, or have at least a nice dry spot to walk around. Here we're securing the far end, and then we're going to come back up to the front and do the front side. The chicken wire turned out to be just almost exactly the right height for even that peaked section at the front. So all we had to do was cut it off and secure the corners. Here I am securing with zip ties around the door. Once I cut the fencing off, I realized where all the gaps were, and I went back afterwards to add more zip ties to make sure that the door was nice and secure with the fencing. And that is the end of the first full day working on our chicken run. Good morning.
Welcome back.
All right, so I am building a 12 by 24 like Shelter Logic portable garage for the firewood and the ATV to fit inside, so it's protected from the weather.
Yeah.
This weather, actually.
We went to go pick up a load of firewood yesterday because we didn't have time to cut down all of the dead trees that are on the property yet, and winter's here, so we just grabbed a load by our local firewood guy, and now we're gonna build the shelter, and I'm gonna button up the chicken coop so we can make sure that it's a little bit more predator proof than just the chicken wire that's on it.
Yep. And we're gonna use the sheep and goat fencing, so it's like 4 by 4 squares.
Yeah.
And hopefully that'll keep any predators out of the run.
It'll help keep.
Yeah.
It'll
But
help.
also, I feel like when the predators come by, it'll probably be at night, and so they'll be locked in the coop anyways.
Right.
So they'll be in the run in the coop, which will be an added protection
Yeah.
for them.
So, it's beautiful, but we weren't expecting snow this soon. Very quiet.
So quiet. Except for the dog.
It's amazing though. It's beautiful. So we're gonna get back to work.
Let's grab our tools. Let's go.
Now in this section of the video we are putting together the garage run. You can see me putting together the poles and securing this together with screws, and Mike is in the chicken run attaching the fencing with tie wraps. This time he's using more of like a wire tie as opposed to a zip tie, and that is much better, more secure for the fencing. What we didn't show in the middle here was us actually bringing the coop over and then letting the chickens go inside the run after spreading down all kinds of straw. The chicken coop was in our dump trailer, and we slid it off onto the ATV cart. From that point, we dragged it over to this spot and set it down on the ground. It was challenging and just crazy. And unfortunately, the video did not turn out on that one, so I couldn't include it here. So we put some chicken wire along the sides. As you can see, there's a gap between the door and the coop. We did fill that in with chicken fencing, and so nothing can actually get in. So it goes all the way around in like a little bit of a U shape. Here we have dragged the sheep and goat fencing around the back of the coop and secured it to the side of the coop in that gap area between the coop and the fence, and then we dragged it all the way around. So Mike's securing that now with tie wraps or with tie wire, and now I've laid out all of the hoops for the garage shelter, and now we're going to go ahead and add the supports that go horizontally on either like kind of top ends, and we're going to add the next braces to it, secure those together, and then continue as we work our way along, attaching everything together. Once we finished getting all of these put together, we actually were basically at the end of the day. So Mike grabbed his trimmer and mowed down all of that brush that you can see with the blade attachment for his trimmer. So we cut off all of the brush that you can see, and we just made it more of a flat area. That way we can drive the ATV in there and then just like park it right by the door. And finally, this last section is us. We laid down a couple of pallets onto the ground, and the kids showed up from school, and now we're unloading all of the wood from the trailer onto the pallets just to give them a good place to, say dry. They've been curing since January, so they're pretty dry this. And we just actually had to get them out of the trailer, so we were kind of in a hurry. So here they are getting loaded onto the pallets and spread out, and then afterwards, and you can see Miss Ava there, she's loading all the kindling into the buckets. We actually ended up with 3 buckets of kindling, 3 brutes there of kindling, and a nice big pile, which would probably last, I don't know, it should be about a month or so, depending on how cold it is, once we get that firewood all set. Finally, we covered it over with a tarp, threw a couple of logs on top to secure it, and then we will come back later and actually add the shelter part to the garage, because we ran out of time and other things became a bigger priority, like the outhouse, which is coming up next.
That was like a 4x4 equestrian, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you in a bit.
Signing out.
See you in a bit. You're funny.
Yeah, just delete that. And we're gonna be back.
Good?
Yeah, you can delete that part.
Yeah, probably.